violent husbands disappear, and the poison she was using was named after her. Let's dig into the story that left 17th century Italy shook. Giulia Tofana was born into a world that left women boxed into marriage, silence, and sometimes danger. She became a woman that was either feared or sought after, depending on your circumstances. At this point in history, divorce wasn't an option, and a woman couldn't even flee necessarily because her husband had the legal right to drag her back home against her will. Now, most of her clients were women. They were wives that were trapped in abusive and impossible marriages. These women came to her desperately seeking an escape, which is not something that the church or the law offered at that point in time. History says that she sold a product called Aqua Tofana, a product that would become a legend. Aqua Tofana was packaged as a cosmetic product, but it actually contained arsenic. And no, you couldn't just walk into her shop and buy it right off the shelf. She personally vetted every single situation and every single person involved in each and every situation. She meticulously handpicked every single client she chose to help. After Giulia would go through the vetting process, she would investigate the situation, make sure there was no other option or way out. She would then educate the client as to how to use Aqua Tofana. She would instruct her patrons to use very small doses. Now, at first, the person would begin to feel ill, then they would actually fall ill, and it would give a natural presentation to the reason why they would pass away. It would ultimately lead to their death, and you would often see results by dose number 4. It's alleged that over 600 abusers met their fate and their makers from unknowingly consuming Aqua Tofana. Historical rumor mill also suggests that she did recruit 5 other women that helped. In the end, Giulia and her helpers were found out, tried, and executed for their crimes. This story sparked fear and speculation and brought new conversations to light. Brought to light how desperate some women's situations were. This is not about glamorizing violence by any means, but it is meant to hold up a historical mirror. It shows what happens when people don't have a legal or a safe option. Forces questions about survival and who gets to have a voice. Giulia Tofana was both legendary and scandalous. Remember her name and remember the questions. What do you do when the system fails you? Think about it. Who gets to hold the pen? Who gets to have a voice? Who gets to write history? Who gets mercy and who gets a choice? This is the conversation that we need to start having.